This is Platinum Northwest TV News. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Philadelphia Mangoeng. These are the leading top stories. First up, only 2 days left before the National Coral Ice Stateford Championships and the Northwest Crafters showcase at leading decor and design platform. In the business news, we take a look at some good news for Shein and Temu shoppers in South Africa. And in the sports news, we get the latest in the Paris Olympics. We begin here. Just last month, the Northwest Department of Education held successful provincial ABC Motsepe South African Schools Coral Ice Stateford Championships. Almost 2,600 secondary and primary school learners from all over the province competed in the different categories of the music competition. Now, in just 2 days, some Northwest province schools will get to compete at the national championships, including Kwanyabe Primary School from the Bojanala District, Botswana Secondary School in Mahikeng, Motutlung Secondary School, and Kibonang Secondary School, which obtained the first position in the septet category. The national championship will take place from the 7th to the 10th of August at the Rema Church in Randburg. In other news, potential buyers and traders attended the second leg of the Decorix Joburg held at Sandton International Convention Center from the 1st to the 4th of August. Now, the first leg of the show was held in Cape Town last month. Decorix is Africa's leading decor and design platform, which showcases more than 230 of the most dynamic and creative companies on the continent. The event offers a unique opportunity for industry professionals and design enthusiasts to explore the latest trends and innovation in the world of interior design and decoration. 5 crafters from the 4 districts of the Northwest Province has been selected through Bokoni Bophirima Craft and Design Institute to elevate their businesses to match international standards. The Northwest Department of Arts, Culture and Sports, as well as Recreation, took crafters to Decorix as part of its program to support the creative industries in the province. Now, these crafters are Khadiyo Lekgeto Koketso Sidumedi, Moses Shabango, Frank Sidumedi, and Arabopeng Ceramics. In more news, the Gauteng Department of Education wishes to inform the public that it respects the decision of the school's governing body of the Pretoria High School for Girls. Now, this follows disciplinary hearing conducted by the SGB for 12 grade 12 learners from the school who were suspended for suspected racism and were subsequently found not guilty of all charges. According to Section 9 of the South African Schools Act 1996 outlines the authority and responsibility of the SGB to conduct disciplinary proceedings against a learner. Here's Gauteng Department of Education spokesperson Steve Mabona.
The South African Schools Act of 1996.
On to the story now. The South African with the
authority and responsibility of the SGB to conduct the disciplinary proceedings within 7 school days. And if learners are suspended, the proceedings must then go ahead and make sure that the process is fast-tracked. Section 9 further states that the SGB can impose other sanctions contemplated in the school's code of conduct or make a recommendation to the department, that is the head of department as it were, for an expulsion of a learner if the learner found guilty of serious misconduct during a said disciplinary process. Furthermore, the Section 9 deems the MEC as an appeal authority who cannot interfere with the disciplinary processes involving learners unless a recommendation for expulsion was made to the HOD and approved, meaning that if they wanted to expel a learner and the HOD accede to that recommendation to expel a learner, the parents may then appeal to the MEC within 14 days of the notice of that expulsion. Then the MEC can consider, that appeal. Now, consequently, the MEC will be launching an independent investigation into this matter, focusing on determining whether a culture of racism exists at the said school. This recourse, which MEC has decided to pursue, will not investigate the 12 learners, but rather the allegations that racism exists at the school. The decision is further motivated by the fact that the report of the SGP ruling make no mention of racism or discrimination against learners, whereas there has been a strong, I can say the facts that existed at the school with allegation that there is racism at the school. So, Section 9 of the Gauteng Education Act 6 of 1995, as amended, states that it is in the interest of the education in the province, that is, the member of the Executive Council may appoint an appropriate person to conduct an inquiry within written terms of reference. As such, MEC Chilwane is empowered to conduct such an investigation. The terms of reference in relation to this inquiry will be outlined so that the investigation, knows on what to uncover. And such terms of reference will then be communicated upon the appointment of the independent investigative body.
On to the story now. The South African Weather Service has issued a warning of intense cold front expected to make landfall in some parts of the country. The yellow level 2 warning includes disruptive rainfall and damaging winds. Areas that may be affected include parts of the Western Cape, Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal and the Free State. In international news now, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has presided over a ceremony to mark the delivery of 250 new tactical ballistic missile launchers to military units at the border. State media KCNA shared images of the Pyongyang ceremony, which took place after dark on Sunday, showing camouflage-colored launcher trucks lined up on a floodlit square decked out with flags. Soldiers stood in formation for the event, which included a firework display. North Korea has been expanding its range of mobile short-range weapons designed to overwhelm missile defenses in neighboring South Korea, while also developing intercontinental ballistic missiles designed to reach the continental United States. North Korea has moved troops to the border, ramped up weapons testing, and sent hundreds of balloons stuffed with rubbish to South Korea. Kim has also defended ties with Russian President Vladimir Putin. And with that, let's now take a look at the business news. In the business news, the South African Revenue Service has decided to hold off on applying a 45% import tariff on clothing products for now. The South African International E-Commerce Association said that the taxman has sent correspondence to the freight forwarding industry in South Africa, stating that further engagement with stakeholders regarding the change is needed. SARS needs to ensure trade system readiness across the sector before implementing the hike. Now, the tax hike was supposed to kick in on the 1st of July 2024, but SARS confirmed that it was still engaging with the industry. According to SARS, its current administrative practices were designed at a time when e-commerce volumes were low. However, the recent boom of e-commerce has necessitated a review of SARS tax rules and processes to effectively collect duties and taxes on e-commerce goods. In more business news, month-end data from the Central Energy Fund shows fuel prices are expected to come down with effect from Wednesday this week. The data points to a price reduction of between 9 and 13 cents per litre depending on the grade of fuel. The price of a litre of diesel is expected to drop by between 14 and 26 cents, also depending on the grade. Now, the price of a litre of paraffin is expected to decrease by around 20 cents. The Central Energy Fund's anticipated decrease decrease in fuel prices follows a stronger rand-dollar exchange rate over the period under review. A reduction in the price of Brent crude oil in July also contributed to the expected upcoming fuel reduction. The Department of Mineral Resources and Energy is expected to announce fuel price adjustments. And that's all from the business news. Your sports update follows next. In athletic news, an Olympic medal continues to elude South African sprinter Akani Simbine after he finished fourth by a whisker in the men's 100-meter final at the Paris Olympics on Sunday. Simbine was racing in his third successive Olympics final, having finished in fifth place in Rio in 2016 and fourth in Tokyo in 2021, and claiming that medal wasn't about to get any easier. All eyes were on lane 5, where Simbine was third fastest to bust from the starting blocks before he crossed the finish line in a personal best of 9.82 seconds. 30-year-old Simbine had broken his own South African record, which also restored him as the fastest man in Africa. And that's where we're going to have to leave it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. The team will be back again tomorrow evening. Till then, good night and take care.